Good afternoon, everyone. I hope this session will also interesting for you because we already into the 11th session of the day. My name is Madin. I'm editor-in-chief of Tirto.id. If you guys doesn't know my name or my company, you can just check in on AI, but it doesn't matter since we already have much more things to talk about. Our topic today is actually about commanding the future, how AI and live data for agile growth. I'm going to share some stories from a media perspective. In media industry, we use AI and live data to actually learn about content behavior. So we're planning keywords. So we try to convert content from podcasts to become short clips. We're using AI and live data to do that, which content actually much more interesting for our users. And specifically in Tirto, we're also helping brands to actually have, now we have a product to actually, because it's so many disinformation out there, we're using AI and live data to actually fact-checking some of this information related to brands and some official, which is happening in social media. So that's how we use AI and in media currently. Now the question is, in your industry, how AI and live data are being used currently? My first question is going to be like, since many organizations start testing AI, but only 16% of the enterprises are ready to full company-wide AI range change. My question is, where is your organization now, basically? Are you still just trying to AI as a project, or are you already using AI across your entire business as an end-to-end platform? I'm going to start with Mas Amir first. Mas Amir, can you share the story about your AI and live data currently?
Yes, so thank you. I think probably before start, just to give some expectations, like why two of us don't have any slides, how prepared we are for these talks actually, to show that. But so sorry about that, but I think it's a very good questions at the current challenges right now, because I think as a marketer, right now that you are being challenged like to relearning about what you have learned before, with a very exciting things like with AI, there are so many new capabilities that you basically have to be humble and explore, how that you can keep up with the capability and somehow using this as your edge rather than something that we need to wait and see. So I think the appetite is really to adopt it as early as possible. And we're talking about banking, there are so many different aspects from how we serve the customer in a frontline point of view, how we do that in terms of data and analytics, how we do the back office transformation, but as well as on the marketing and customer experience, which is very important. Even as simple as how we do a creative right now. I can really say that even though we have adopted many new communication and advertising using AI, but is it already at the rate that's probably something best in class? That's something that we are still, we want to pursue that before. And it's also like how to managing still the creativity there, how that when we use it even for the journey of customers and using the data on that, how that we should adopt it in a way that the storytelling is still there, the orchestration of the brain is still there, because I think AI can make many different content and can generate that in a very faster manner, but in a way, the human touch of we are being marketer has to be there. So I think really the struggle is that how to manage within speed and as well still having the idealism in there. So to put it in short, I can humbly say that I think the appetite is big, but whether we are in the forefront of using AI in a very excellent capability, I think it is not yet there. And this is something that we have to keep up as banking in general.
Okay, interesting. What about you, Pak Gunnar? What happened in Sampoerna currently?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I think Well, there's two things, right? Using AI is easy. Anyone can open the ChatGPT and use it. But use it in an organized way is more complicated. You need to train people, you need to have the right tools, you need to have the right processes in place, etc. In Sampoerna and also in Philip Morris globally, we've been using machine learning and then AI for a couple of years now. Because of course we handle large amount of data when it comes to our volume, sellout volumes, etc., but also when it comes to our retail environment. And of course also consumer data, which has different regulations around the world. But so we have been using, let's say in the back end, machine learning and AI for quite a while. Now we are getting to the stage that we are rapidly scaling. So we have an AI governance board. We have centralized projects and localized projects that we're working on in order to leverage the local creativity that we have in Sampoerna, but also building on everything that is happening around the world in a large organization like ours. So I think we are on a good path, but can you be faster? Yes, always. But I think everyone is learning at this point. So it's right. Everyone is trying to find the right moments, where to use it, when to use it. Because again, just using it for the sake of ticking a box, I think makes no sense. What does make sense is automating certain processes, simplifying processes, and getting to better business results by using artificial intelligence.
All right. I mean, I can imagine that how Sampoerna is actually now with all the. I mean, I have this data when you have a Sampoerna retail community, right? SRC, which is 250,000 traditional retailers. And in this context, I just wondering, how did you leveraging the AI plus the live data between, in terms of your decision making in terms of marketing? Is it for media buying or even for microstat inventory or digital engagement in the kiosk and something? Is there any experience that you can share with us about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will give a little bit of background because we started the Sampoerna retail community, I think 2007 or 8, and we have built it up now to 260,000 retailers, which was driven back then by the business problem that the market was fragmenting. So by now Indonesia has roughly 4.5 million point of sales. Very unstructured, no scan data, etc., etc. So we were trying to find a way to bring order in that system. So that was the starting point. But then we realized that we could basically, by leveraging technology, by leveraging machine learning back then, and today AI, we could bring data together from the factory to the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the consumer. So by today, we have massive amounts of data that literally determines, as I said, the whole process from end to end. And it allows us for every single step along the way to use AI to optimize what we are doing. So a simple example, the demand planning is driven by AI. So the system can analyze where demands go up, go down, what needs to be pushed or what can be held back a little bit. That is played back to the factory and played back to supply chain, so we know which products need to be delivered into which areas. And then it's again linked to the wholesaler, who then gets the right recommendations based on previous purchasing behavior, based on trends in the area. And then the delivery person who will bring the products from the wholesaler to the retailer is also fully powered by AI. So the person gets, number one, it's real-time execution of the order, so there's no delay. The whole billing works through the system, and of course route planning and all these type of things is done for the delivery of goods, the same way that we use the data for optimizing route planning for our field force when they go out. So when the market changes, when traffic changes, when weather changes, when something happens along the way, all of this automatically gets uploaded into the device that our field force has out there, and therefore we can optimize the time, less time in the car, more time in the point of sale. And so then, to come to your question, how do we leverage AI in this process when it comes to the retailer? And I think that's the most thrilling part in a way. we did a segmentation of the different types of retailers, of the fluency of digital across the different geographies. So depending on the fluency of the retailer, we have different tools that are AI powered to optimize the interaction with the retailer. So some retailers who may or may not have or very literate with digital tools, with the mobile phone, etc., they can get a call from us, which is an AI-powered call, so they can talk to them. Others get maybe a text message. Others may have a simple interface through our apps, or others have more complicated or complex and more engaging interfaces. So it's structured by this. Everything that happens towards the retailer is based on data that we collected in the past, data that is happening in the industry, in the areas, etc., etc. So we have an extremely complex ecosystem to manage all of this.
I mean, we used to have these 3 insights in media industry, right? There are 3 type of contents that really works in the market currently. Number 1 is life hack or life hack is how to content. Like, second one is the behind the scene content, and the third one is fact-checking content. So I would imagine your story to become a behind-the-scene content, like it's going to be like one documentary movie, like it's going to be interesting. Yeah, to Mas Amir, sorry, we need to back and forth the mic. What about CIMB Niaga currently about using AI and live data? I know finance and banking is quite a different industry, but how it's now is being used in terms of live data and AI to make a business decision.
Yeah, thank you. So I think I'm gonna start the story by that recently we just sharpening and make our vision mission of the bank to be more purposeful, which is how that we can advancing our customer and society, empower our customers to achieve their dreams. We already have this equity of Kejar Mimpi for I think for the last decade, but it used to be very on a brand level only, but not really in every single business that we would like to win from. Corporate banking, business banking, Sharia, our premier banking, the preferred one, and even like how we approach customer for our SME, or even when we do the sustainability and CSR, as if like everything is just go without there's a single purpose on that. So I think when we have this and when we do the transformation on how we achieve, how we transform each of the brand, each of the customer segment in a way, okay, then how that we can empower, let's say, our Sharia customers so that their parents go to Hajj. How that we can empower big companies so that they can have IP or even become international companies. How we can empower our customers in individual customers who would like just to have a new car or new house for their family. So meaning like this big purpose thing become a very transformative in a way, so that when we launch products, when we do communications, when we do changes on our customer journey and customer experience, and then answering how to put technology and AI there. How do we empower all of this so that when we use the technology stack, including AI, it's not just because, oh, there's an AI, let's try and do something with it. But there is a purpose in every single business things that we put, and how do we put this so that we can enable to help our customers to achieve their dreams. So for example, if they're confused about what kind of financial products that they have, how we should put our AI on our website so that people can easily to understand and compare and contrast, or even if they don't know financial products, they can then find references. If they only know about their dreams but they don't understand about the financial products, we can somehow then the AI can help to structure that thinking for our customers because they probably don't know what they don't know. And number two, that's just part of the journey. Let's say when the customers in our mobile banking, how that our customer can, through AI, being reminded, hey, actually you have too much saving account. You probably can have a better return if you put in investment account, or if you put in gold saving account, let's say, so that you can achieve your dream faster. So you need the data, then AI, then there's a context when we put in every single customer journey and the brand that we would like to strengthen, because there's a single purpose when we talk and when we do have a workshop or transformational between different customers, but different unit from IT, from technology, from products and everything, this purpose makes the AI have more relevant point of view. So that's our journey right now, how to put the technology, including AI, on those particular journey to help customers to achieve their dreams that we want to pursue.
Noted. I mean, that's super interesting. But I have another question. I mean, this is going to be the most interesting question that insightful for the agencies here. Looking ahead to the next 2 or 3 years, if AI is given greater responsibility in marketing decisions at your place, right, at your company, for example, for media buying, personalized content, product recommendation, I mean, what change do you anticipate in your organizational structure or in your marketing team skill sets or in terms of your relationship with external partners like media, agencies? How do you see in the next 3 years with this technology, AI and live data? Pak Gunnar.
That's a very loaded question. I think we are only scratching the surface of what's going to happen to us, to the world, to industries and agencies and consumers in the next 2 to 3 years. But it's also not going to revolutionize overnight, right? The process is going to be fast, but we will be able to kind of keep up with it. And when I say keeping up with it, I think it's we need to manage people, we need to manage our processes, and we need to manage the data. So upskilling our people, I think, is absolutely paramount. In the technical side, how to use the new technologies that will come out there when we talk about agentic AI and all these type of things, but also train them and prepare them for what's going to come in the future for them. And then it's much more about critical thinking, it's about empathy, it's about holistically understanding the business in order to judge what the machine is actually giving me back is right or wrong, and to become more a business manager than just managing single pieces of the business. It's going to be more holistic, more demanding for everyone, I think. And when it comes to marketers, of course, it's a little bit of a Disney world. And that's a danger, right? Because not everything you can do, you should do. So for our teams in the future to pick and choose and say, what are the things I want to invest to versus what I can do, what creatives I can develop, what campaigns I can develop, etc. So, and that's where the machine can help us to be better at better targeting, better content, individual content, and then of course also optimizing spending and all these type of things. But we all know that the world is very, very complex, and you can have the best models, but then in the end, the whole thing blows up in your face. So I'm very curious and excited about what's going to happen. And data privacy, managing the data, I think is going to be absolutely key, because that is the key asset we have. I mentioned from our side, we have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of consumers in our database. We have data from the 260,000 point of sales or from the retail chain. So that data is your key asset. And then you need to put the processes in place, how to manage them, how to utilize them, and then also the people that can actually use all of this, right? Use the data in the right way and identify when the machine is making maybe false assumptions or draws conclusions that are actually not there. So how it's going to change marketing fundamentally, we're going to need different skills, we're going to need different people, not different people, the same people with different skills, but it's a little bit like in the last 5 to 10 years when we said we need to unlearn and relearn. This cycle is going to accelerate, and everyone needs to keep up to date and be ready to take that challenge on, because if you don't use AI, if you don't know how to manage the machine, if you don't know how to use prompts, if you don't understand what are the possibilities out there, someone else will do it, and you will get washed away.
I mean, same requirements also for media and agency, like as you mentioned.
It's the same, and I think whether it's media agency or the creative agencies or digital agencies, everyone needs to find their place in that, right? And I had a discussion earlier, and the agencies will not disappear. The agencies will be able to provide better services to the clients, will be able to provide better media buying, better optimization, will be able to provide better creative, a better engagement, hopefully, right? I think that's the opportunity, and then we need to see how can the machine accelerate this without being too demanding to the consumer. Because ultimately we are all consumers, and we all know how our Instagram feeds and TikTok feeds are flying through and people stop seeing things. So how, and that's the role of the human, how can I break this pattern? How do I break through the clutter? Because the machine can optimize currently, but humans are there to come up with amazing ideas and then bring them to life in a way that is unseen and that will capture consumers' attention.
Got it. And Mas Amir, how do you see in the future of your team in CIMB Niaga with the using of AI and live data, especially also internally and also externally?
Yeah. I think the thing that is very important when we talk with different agencies as part of our ecosystem team is that be very, very cautious not to be trapped in a gimmicky solutions. So all of these agencies right now coming, oh, we have this new AI solution, and then this can do this, and they have a parrot of different AI solution, and I think it's always have a very clarity on our mind that when we choose to adopt something, we have to align with the real problem solving that we want to our customers, and even we as a marketers, how that it can help. Because I think when we blindly just using whatever AI solutions right there with the different agencies, that can be very scary in a way, because it might not give you the real solution if you don't really not understanding the context. So I think to have a very brief, oh, this is something that we don't need, this is something that we need, and this is something that we would like to strengthen further, I think it's important. That's when we talk about these different external agencies. But talking about internal team, I think there's unlearning things that has to be one of the big theme. The copywriters probably have writing copy like that for the last 20 years. And they probably have been very used to do that copywriting. The designer have been used to using that tool and designing things. My data team probably have been used to just get the data and crunching the data like that. Yeah. So the new AI capability is there, but whether they should use it in a more effectively, probably not really on the same speed. So I think this unlearning theme is very challenging right now, because how to make everybody can use this so that even from a very basic thing, it can have our very fast copywriting, very fast creativity, how to make a structured campaign that can be more, can be more replicable. There's a playbook that has more, that we can use it in a very faster manner from the different teams. So there's a learning practice there between different teams. So I guess how that we can build this culture of unlearning and willing to, you don't have to do like that again for whatever you have done it for 20 years and you have changed the way you do that. I think that's a very challenging thing, or very basic things to make our team to become an AI enabler marketers. Because I don't think AI will replace a good marketers, but the great marketers there are the one that can leverage AI for their next future frontier, and that would be cutting edge. Because I think the brain and the storyteller, the strategies, everything is still in the marketer thing, but how we can use AI to be the forefront, cutting edge in the future. And that's something that we would like to pursue.
I mean, how do you see the relationship with your agencies and media partner in the future, externally, after using this AI? I just want to engage on this part.
So how is
how is your relationship with agencies and in terms of media buying and in the future with this AI and live data? Is it going to be changed, or are you going to be more demanding to them?
I think one of the challenges right now is still a very fragmented buying. There's not really I think we need to be more scientific and do the marketing mix and everything. And I think hopefully AI can help that in robusting that model as well. So again, but if we are trapped with an old ways of buying things, sometimes it's about the mindset as well, right? We know that we can be more strategic, but sometimes this is something that we have been used to for long. So how to take that fear that, you know, this is something that we need to do more scientifically and strategically in the future. That's probably one of the things that I can share.
All right. Time's up. I think as we close today's discussions, I would like to bring some perspective from the World Economic Forum, I think for about AI and live data. They said the most successful companies in the AI era are not those with the most data, but those who act on it with purpose. I think that's the closing remarks that we can actually hear today. For me, as a media, we always talk about content production and distribution today, but nobody is actually speaking about content curation. So this is also important things that we can also engage in the future about how media is actually can curate and also fact checking all the contents that being used, because there's a lot of disinformation right now happening, not just only about content, but also about fact checking and misinformation that we need to debunk. So thank you so much, Pak Gunnar, Pak Amir. I think we can wrap this up. Thank you so much again for the opportunity. Selamat sore.
Thank you.
Thank you, panel. We'd like to take a picture